Okay, so here we are. Still exact values, still 8-7, part 4. Very last one, just going to talk about some special cases or some, taking it up a notch where it becomes a little more difficult. So here we go, number 15. What if you have this? Negative square root of 84 p, that's an 8 by the way, p to the 10th, q to the 5th. So 84 p to the 10th, q to the 5th. So do you see this negative out here? Okay, that's really like a negative 1, ghostly Gladys 1 type thing. It's already on the outside. Notice what I did. I highlighted it in yellow. So just got to remember to carry that through until the very end. From here, break it up like we've been doing. Square root of 84 times the square root of p to the 10th times the square root of q to the 5th. So 84. Start in your calculator. 84 divided by 4. That works, and it's 21. I think that might be the only perfect square, actually, to be honest, because I know 21 only has the factors of 1 and 21 and 7 and 3, and none of those are perfect squares. So square root of 4 is 2. Outside, highlight in yellow. Square root of 21, nothing goes into it. Remains under the radical sign. Okay, p to the 10th, divide by 5. Goes in there evenly because 10 is an even number. So, oops, divide by 2, not 5, sorry. Giving away the answer. P to the 5th, outside, highlight. Q to the 5th, split it up into Q to the 4th under the radical sign, and then Q under the radical sign. P to the 4th, Q to the 4th, excuse me, divide by 2, which would be Q squared. Highlight, done. Q remains under the radical. So, make sure you carry that negative sign, so you have negative 2, or really like a negative 1, times a 2, times a p to the 5th, times a q squared. So negative 2, p to the 5th, q squared, and then under the radical, 21q. Okay, so don't forget about those outside negatives or numbers. Just carry them on through. They're already done. All right, up another notch. Here we go. How about this? The square root of 16x to the 3rd y times the square root of 8xy to the 4th. Interesting. So now we're kind of applying two properties together. So we have to multiply exponents, and then it would be all under the great big radical sign. So you're going to multiply 16 times 8. Well, I've got my calculator here. 16 times 8 is 128. And then I have x to the 3rd, and this would be x to the 1st. So 3 plus 1 is 4. And then I have y and y to the 4th. So this is y to the 1st times, times y to the 4th, which you would keep the base the same and add the exponents, which would be y to the 5th. So multiply first, because that's what the rule says. Now break it up into the square root of 128 times the square root of x to the 4th times the square root of y to the 5th. All right, 128. So get my handy dandy calculator out here. 128 divided by 4 works. It's 32. I think I can find something bigger. 128 divided by 9. No. 128 divided by 16. Yes, 16 and 8. Ooh, but 8's got a perfect square. I bet you there's something bigger. Let me see if I can find it. 128 divided by 36. No. 128 divided by 49. No. 128 divided by 64. It is. It is the perfect square of 64 and the square root of 2. Now, if you decided to stop at 16, which would have been perfectly fine, you would have just had to break up the other one. But, so here we go. Square root of 64 is 8. Outside, highlight in yellow. Square root of 2, inside the radical. X to the 4th, divide by 2. That would be x squared. Outside, highlight in yellow. X to the 5th, or y to the 5th, would be y to the 4th under the radical times y. So y to the 4th is y squared, highlight, done. Y stays inside. So on the outside, you have 8x squared, y squared, under the radical is 2y. Aren't these fun? I love them. I know, I'm crazy, but I love them. I think they're so much fun. All right, last one. Here we go, number 17. And it kind of combines the same thing, but it's division now. So 153, x to the 9th, y to the 3rd, all over 17x to the 3rd. So it's under the big radical, so I got to simplify, or I have to simplify first. So 153 divided by 17. 153 divided by 17, by golly, is the square root of 9. Then x to the 9th divided by x to the 3rd. So keep the base the same and subtract. 9 minus 3 is 6. And then y to the 3rd is just y to the 3rd. So now you can see how we're combining all of these things together. I love it. So square root of 9, the square root of x to the 6th, the square root of y to the 3rd. Square root of 9 is 3. Outside, highlight in yellow. Square root of 6, divide by 2, which would be x to the 3rd. Outside, highlight in yellow. Y to the 3rd. I'm going to split into y squared times y, because 2 plus 1 is 3. Divide by 2, which gives you y. Outside, highlight in yellow. Can't divide. So inside. So my final answer. The final answer is 3. X to the 3rd, y to the square root of y. Dun, da, da, da. We're done. Exact value. Not in a nutshell, because that was a big nutshell. 4 different videos to do it. But now you have it. Have a great one.